So, hello there, welcome to Live at 5 Yoga with me, Hatha Yoga teacher Lesley Wilson. So, a day indoors today, rather windy. So today has been spent mostly cooking, a bit of housework, and then this afternoon I've been doing a Barbicide COVID-19 awareness certification, so that I'm as ready as I can be when I'm allowed to start going back to work. So this is specifically for people in the hair and beauty industry. So yeah, I'm just doing everything I can, trying to make myself as well informed as I can, and obviously make any preparations that I need to make, and hopefully Sue, sorry, I couldn't see. I didn't want to put my glasses on because it reflects the glow of the light ring. So hello, how are you? Hope you're all right. Yeah, so any measures that I have to put in place before I am allowed to go back to work, then, you know, as many of these little courses that I can do. Obviously it's still relatively all kind of new information, so, you know, but the information's out there. So I'm just going to make the most of the time that I've got to try and use that effectively to prepare myself and for my clients when I can go back to work. So that's what I've been up to today. I hope you've all had a good day. Now I've got the 2 mats out, but my husband's not home from work yet, so whether or not he is going to come in from work and join, or whether he's not going to be in time, I have no idea. So we'll just get on and do it as and when. See if he does come in. So I'm just going to sit down on the mat. So hopefully you can all still see me. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to be working with some back bends this evening. Now, if you have got any back issues, then obviously you need to work really mindfully, be really careful of what you're doing. Because you don't want to cause yourself any injury or discomfort or pain, obviously, and I don't want that to happen either. So if I ask you to do one of these back bends, or indeed anything, and it's not right for you, then same rules apply, just don't do it. And then everything else is, well, we've worked with everything really that we're working with today, but just obviously there was quite a lot of emphasis on the back bends, because I don't even think we've done any this week. I can't remember, to be honest. So I've just got this big pile of lesson plans that I've got up on the side there because I usually do write a new class for every day. I'll sort of look at the old ones and think, yeah, a bit of that and a bit of that. Oh, let's just put a new one together. It's quicker, it's easier, and it kind of depends on what sort of mood you're in, what mood I'm in, or what the weather's been like. It was like yesterday, for example, was really hot, so we had a much gentler one. Anyway, so enough rambling. You can tell I'm missing having conversations with everybody at yoga, because I'm just going blah 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 now. So just coming into a seated, comfortable position, we're going to work with some breath awareness. So it doesn't have to be cross-legged, it's literally however you are comfortable. And then just sitting up nice and tall, lifting the crown of the head. And then bring the hands so that they're resting with the palms facing up towards the ceiling, but we're not actually going to bring them into a mudra or a gesture. We're just going to have the fingers nice and curled, as they do when we're in Shavasana, hands nice and relaxed. So this is this breath awareness. We've done this a few times now for anyone that's with me regularly. So we're just going to close the eyes and just breathe in and out through the nostrils. And then just allow the breath to settle. So I'd like you to think about whereabouts in the body you can actually feel the breath. So that might be in the belly, the lower abdomen. Might be in the rib cage. Could be in the sternum, the chest, the breastbone. And maybe you can feel it in the shoulders. And you'll definitely feel it in the nostrils, especially on the inhalation. And then I'd like you you to just take the awareness to those areas and think about how the breath feels today. So is it smooth and rhythmic, or is it laboured? And then we're going to add a bit of movement now, along with the breath. So when you next breathe out, stretch the fingers away, straightening them out, nice big space between the fingers. And when you breathe it out, allow the fingers to just relax. So breathing in as you stretch the fingers away, and breathing out, allow the fingers to curl back into the hand, just nice and relaxed. And then just continue in this way with your own breath. And then we're just going to explore this relationship between the movement of the fingers and the breath. So perhaps there might be a small pause at the top of the inhalation, or maybe at the end of the exhalation. Don't worry if there isn't one, doesn't mean you're doing it wrong, it just means that that's how your breath is. But don't force a pause if one isn't there. But if there is one there, maybe just focus on that pause. And then after the next exhalation, you can release this breath awareness, relax the hands. So we're going to come down onto the mat just for a short relaxation. So just coming into your best version of Shavasana once again, stretching away the legs. If the lower back allows you to do so, nice big space between the heels. Just having the feet flopped apart, so the legs are nice and soft and relaxed. Taking the arms a little way away from the sides of the body, palms turned up towards the ceiling, fingers lightly curled because the hands are nice and relaxed. And then if you're able, you can lift the head, look down the centre of the body, rest the head back down on the mat, and then just close the eyes if you haven't already done so. And then a couple of nice deep breaths here. And then let's hug the knees in towards the chest. We'll clasp the hands around the outer edges of the shins and then just begin rocking gently from side to side, head and knees going in the same direction as you start to adjust ease out the back. So giving the spine a little gentle massage. And then we can start to ease out the neck. So still rocking from side to side, but head going in one direction, knees in the other. And then just come back to centre. Keep the knees bent, place the two hands on the kneecaps, and then we're going to circle the knees. So we're just warming up the hips, the lower abdomen, the lower spine. And then go back the other way. And then still circling the knees, but let's send them off in opposite directions now. And then come on back to centre. Let's pop the 2 feet down on the mat now. So the feet, just heels just underneath the buttocks, nice and close in towards the body. And then taking the arms down by the sides of the body, palms facing down towards the floor. And we'll warm up the spine with a gentle pelvic tilt. So breathing out as you round the spine, tipping the pelvis forwards, and breathing in, arching the spine, tipping the pelvis backwards. So breathing out, rounding the spine, pelvis comes forwards. Breathing in, arching the spine, and the pelvis comes backwards. And then just continue in this way with your own breathing. And then we can release this activity with the spine and come into a neutral position. So remember to keep the face looking up directly at the ceiling now as we prepare to work with the bridge and the flowing bridge. So the next time that you take a breath in, push down on the soles of the feet, the backs of the arms and the shoulder blades, lifting the hips up as high as you can. And then breathing out, lower the hips all the way back down to the mat, just rolling the spine down one vertebra at a time. So breathing in, lifting up, and then breathing out, rolling smoothly down. So just do a few more of these with your own breathing. Keeping it nice and strong. Really good for strengthening the glutes, strengthening the thighs, and also the muscles that support the lower spine. And the next time that you take a breath in and lift the hips up, float the hands up to the ceiling and take them all the way back to the wall behind you. And then breathing out, float the hips back down and float the arms back down to starting position. So breathing in as you lift up, float the arms up and back. And then breathing out, lowering everything gently back down. And then just do a few more of these with your own breath. Don't forget, keep the face looking up to the ceiling. And then no need to rush or hurry, but the next time that you breathe out and lower the hips and lower the arms, then you can release this activity. So we're going to take the arms out wide at right angles to the side of the body. Just prepare to work for the spinal twist. And you can either keep the feet on the mat or you can hug the knees closer in towards the chest, whichever suits you best. And then when you next breathe out, take the knees over to the right. If that feels okay for the neck and spine, you can turn the face to the left. And just hold it there for a few breaths. And then take a breath in, come back to centre. As you breathe out, take the knees over to the left and turn the face to the right. Just a couple of breaths here. And then take a breath in, come back to centre. Breathing out, take the knees back over to the right, turn the face to the left. And then take a breath in, come back to centre. Breathing out, take the knees over to the left and turn the face to the right. And then take a breath in, come back to centre. So we can stretch away the legs. And take the arms down by the sides of the body. We're just going to warm up with some cross-crawling. So next time that you breathe in, float the hands up towards the ceiling and take them back towards the wall behind you. Nice big stretch. Breathing out, take the hands up to the ceiling and just pause there. Breathing in, take the arms out wide at right angles to the sides of the body. Breathing out, take the arms all the way across. Give yourselves a nice big hug and open up the shoulder blades. Breathing in, taking the arms out wide at right angles once again. Breathing out, give yourselves another hug, other arm on top this time. Breathing in, take the hands up to the ceiling and pause there. And breathing out, float the arms back down to starting position. Breath in, just the arms, take them up and back. Breathing out, hug the right knee in towards the chest, clasp the hands around the shin and squeeze. Breath in, right leg up to the ceiling, arms up and back. And breathing out, floating all three limbs back down. Breath in, just the arms, take them up and back. Breathing out, hug the left knee in towards the chest, clasp the hands around the shin and squeeze. Breath in, left leg up to the ceiling, arms up and back. And breathing out, floating all three limbs back down. Breath in, just the arms, take them up and back. Breathing out, hug both knees in towards the chest, clasp the hands around the shins and squeeze. Breath in, legs up to the ceiling, arms up and back. And breathing out, floating all four limbs back down. Sorry, my t-shirt's stuck underneath me. Breath in, just the arms, take them up and back. Breathing out, hug the right knee in towards the chest. If the neck allows, lift the head, nose towards the knee. Breath in, legs up to the ceiling, arms up and back. And breathing out, floating all three limbs back down. Breath in, just the arms, take them up and back. Breathing out, hug the left knee in towards the chest, lift the head, nose towards the knee. Breath in, leg up to the ceiling, arms up and back. And breathing out, floating all three limbs back down. Breath in, just the arms, take them up and back. Breathing out, hug both knees in towards the chest, nose between the knees. Breath in, legs up to the ceiling, arms up and back. And breathing out, floating all four limbs back down. One more round. Breath in, just the arms, take them up and back. Breathing out, hug the right knee in towards the chest, nose towards the knee. Breath in, leg up to the ceiling, arms up and back. And breathing out, floating all three limbs back down. Breath in, just the arms, take them up and back. Breathing out, hug the left knee in towards the chest, nose towards the knee. Breath in, left leg up to the ceiling, arms up and back. And breathing out, floating all three limbs back down. Breath in, just the arms, take them up and back. Breathing out, hug both knees in towards the chest, nose between the knees. Breath in, legs up to the ceiling, arms up and back. And breathing out, floating all four limbs back down. So let's give the legs a little bounce now. So we're going to hug the knees in towards the chest, clasp the hands underneath the knees, and then if it suits your back, we're just going to rock backwards and forwards a few times. Looks like I'm going solo tonight, still no sign of the hubster. So sorry if that was the only reason you tuned in. And then just come up to a seated, comfortable position. Okie dokie, where are we now? So let's bring the soles of the feet together, not too close in towards the body. So you're matching up the pads of the toes, the balls of the feet and the heels. Then we're going to work with our soft forward fold with the breath. So as you breathe in, stretch the hands into the centre of the room and then come all the way up to the ceiling, looking up if the neck allows, and then breathing out, folding forward from the hips, coming down over the feet. So breath in, stretch out, come up. And breathing out, coming down. One more time, breath in, stretch out and come up. And breathing out, coming down. Let's just hold this forward fold now. So you can hold this passively or work a little bit more dynamically, whichever is your preference. If you want to work passively, then you just hang and allow gravity and the breath to bring you in. Otherwise, you can take hold of the feet and then just bring the head down towards the feet, just using those hands to ease yourself down a little bit more, whichever suits you best. Okay. And then just a few more breaths here. And then take a breath in, lift the head, slowly come on up. So we're going to come into a cross-leg position. However, if that's not for you, for whatever reason, then have both the legs extended, nice big space between the heels. So we're going to work with a side stretch first of all. So we're going to bring the left hand into the left hip crease and the right hand will come out to the mat beside you, or the floor, or wherever you are. So take a breath in, straighten the spine. Breathing out, slide that right hand away. And then some of us will be able to bring the elbow to the ground, but it just depends on body proportion really, to be fair. So the most important thing is to keep the left shoulder back, looking up at the ceiling if the neck will allow you to do so, and then bring that right arm up and across. Keep the arm straight, keep breathing. And then take a breath in, come all the way back up to centre. We'll do the other side now. So bring the right hand into the right hip crease, left hand will come out to the mat beside you. Take a breath in, straighten the spine. Breathing out, slide the left hand away, right shoulder comes back, looking up at the ceiling if the neck allows, and then release that right arm, bring it up and across, keep the arms straight and keep breathing. then take a breath in, come all the way back up to centre. We'll do a twist now, so bring the right hand down behind the right hip. The left hand will come and rest on the right knee. Take a breath in, straighten the spine. Breathing out, twist from the waist, turn to look over the right shoulder. Just hold it there, keep breathing. And then take a breath in to come all the way back to centre. Same on the other side, so left hand down behind the left hip, right hand will rest on the left knee. Breath in, straighten the spine. Breathing out, twist from the waist, turn to look over the left shoulder. And then take a breath in, come all the way back to centre. So uncross the legs if you've had them crossed. Stretch them away, give them a little bounce. So we're going to be working with our hamstring stretch, or our head to knee pose. So we're going to be stretching out over the left leg first of all, so you can bring the right foot in nice and close to the groin. Allow that right knee to drop out to the side. Alternatively, you can have both the legs extended, but make sure you've got a nice big space between the heels so you're protecting your lower back. So making sure you come onto the sit bones, have the hands resting on the left leg, left toes pointing up towards the ceiling, and then take a breath in, straighten the spine. As you breathe out, start to ease the left side of the chest down towards the left thigh. So just trying to fold forward from the hips as opposed to from the waist. And then just keep breathing. Maybe using the breath to help you soften down a little bit deeper if your body will allow. So when you breathe in, imagine the spine is lengthening, and when you breathe out, maybe softening down a little bit more. So just a few breaths here while you allow the muscle to really benefit from that stretch. And then take a breath in, lift the head, slowly come on up. Keep that right leg where it is. Going to draw the left leg in towards us. Clasp the hands around the sole of the left foot and then extend the left leg out in front of you. And then bend the leg, stretch away the left leg. So we're going to bring the right knee up now and place the right foot so it's on the outer edge of the left leg. So you can stay with that left leg extended if you wish to. Otherwise, if you want to mix it up a little bit, you can bend the left leg and bring the left heel so it's underneath the right hip or the right buttock. So we're going to bring the right hand down behind the right hip. Two choices for the left arm. You can either wrap that around the outer edge of the right leg, or alternatively you can bring the left elbow and place it on the outer edge of the right thigh. So extend the fingers up towards the ceiling if you've done that. Take a breath in, straighten the spine, breathing out, twisting from the waist first, and then turn to look over the right shoulder. And then keeping the breath going. And then coming back to centre on an in-breath. Unfold the legs if you've had them folded up. Give them a little bounce. So we're going to do the same on the right side now. So the right leg will be extended out in front of you, and the left foot can either come into the groin with the knee dropping out to the side, or again both legs extended, but make sure you've got a nice big space between the heels. Come onto the sit bones, right toes pointing up towards the ceiling, hands resting on the right leg. So take a breath in, straighten the spine. And then breathing out, starting to ease the right side of the chest down towards the right thigh. Once again, allowing the muscles to become accustomed to the stretch. And then using the breath to help you soften down a bit deeper. then take a breath in, lift the head, slowly come on up. So coming into the heron now, so leave that left leg where it is. Draw the right foot in towards you, clasp the hands around the sole of the right foot and then extend the right leg out in front of you. And then you can stretch away that right leg. So bring the left knee up now and place the left foot so it's on the outer edge of the right leg. So you can keep that right leg extended, and if you kept the left leg straight, then you need to do the same on this side. Otherwise, you can bend the right leg and tuck the right heel underneath the left buttock. So we're going to bring the left hand down behind the left hip, and again, a choice. You can either hug the right arm around the left knee. Alternatively, you can bring the outer edge of the right elbow to the outer edge of the left thigh. Extend the fingers up to the ceiling. Take a breath in, straighten the spine, breathing out, twist from the waist, turn to look over the left shoulder. And just keep breathing. And then take a breath in, come all the way back to centre. So we're going to come down onto the abdomen now and work with some floor-based back bends. So just coming down onto the tummy, and then maybe make a little pillow out of the two hands, and then just bring whichever side of the face works best for you. So just being super careful. We've got a few back bends today. I thought we'd do a little bit of work on the spine. So some active and some passive back bends to work with. So yeah, just being mindful. If you know that you have got back issues, then you just need to work very carefully with these. Even if you haven't got back issues, just being mindful. So if anything starts to pinch or be discomfort, then just come straight out and come back to this position. So the first one we're going to work with this evening is Ardha Bhujangasana, which is our Sphinx Pose. So we're going to bring the hands down, rotate the shoulders, elbows even. So bring the elbows so that they're underneath the shoulders, and you want the hands at the same distance apart as the elbows. Some people bring their hands into the middle. We want these nice and straight, so lots of parallel lines. Spread the fingers out nice and wide and have the top middle finger pointing towards the top edge of the mat. So the pubic bone is still connected to the mat, as is the abdomen. And then our dristi, or our focal point, is just softly ahead, not really looking at anything in particular. Although in my face-to-face classes, I do say to people, if you want to close the eyes, then that's absolutely fine. And then if you know that your spine is flexible and nice and strong and can take a bit more of a bend, then you can push down on the hands. Keep the elbows nice and soft. Make sure the shoulders aren't hunched up by the ears. So pubic bone still connected to the mat. And then if you know that your spine is flexible, you can walk the hands back in a little bit closer towards the body. Remember, keep those shoulders away. You don't want to be shrugging them up by the ears, and a little bend in the elbows as well. So it's quite strong on the upper arms. And obviously the spine. And then we can come back into the Sphinx Pose, back onto the elbows. And so now we're going to come into the locust and the half locust and then the full locust. So let's bring the forehead to the mat. So we're going to take the hands down by the sides of the body. We'll just tuck the thumbs underneath either the hip creases or the upper thighs, depending on how long your arms are. So the forehead should stay on the mat for the whole duration of the posture. So the half locust is just literally just lifting one leg at a time. So we keep the legs straight when we work with the locust. The work's done by the muscles that support the lower spine and the glutes as well. So next time you take a breath in, lift the right leg.
And then as you breathe out, float that right leg gently back down. So moving on to the left side now, take a breath in and lift the left leg. And then breathing out to lower down. So one more to each side, breath in, lift the right leg. And breathing out to lower. And same on the other side, breath in, lift the left leg. And then lower. So if that feels okay, you want to try the full locust. Forehead still stays on the mat, but we take a breath in and we lift both the legs. And then as we breathe out, we lower them both down. So we do one more, so breath in and lift both the legs. And then breathing out to lower. Release the hands. So, we're going to be working with the half bow and then maybe the full bow. So this is quite challenging, quite strong. So, you know, if you give it a go and think it's not for you, then obviously just come straight out of it. So to come into the half bow, we're going to, what are we doing? So let's bend the right leg first of all. We'll bring the forehead back to the mat. We'll extend the left leg out in front of you. And then we're going to take hold of the right foot. So reaching back with the right hand. And then from here, let's lift that right leg. And then we're going to lift the left leg and also the left arm. Okay, and then lower everything back down. So we're going to switch sides now. So stretch away the right leg, bend the left leg, reach back with the left hand and take hold of the left foot. Extend the right arm out in front of you. Forehead to the mat. Lift the left thigh and then lift the right leg and the right arm. And then lower everything back down. So bend both the legs now, take hold of both the feet, and then when you next breathe in, lift everything up. And then breathing out, lowering back down. Let's do one more. Now don't forget, if it's not for you, don't do it. We're going to take a breath in, lift everything, and this time we're going to maybe hold this bow. And then breathing out, lower everything back down. So just one more of these back bends now. I thought I'd throw this one in for a bit of a chuckle. The Dragonfly. So anyone that's been to any of my classes will possibly remember the Dragonfly. Okay, so coming into the Dragonfly, we're going to place the forehead on the mat. Then the hands will come out slightly away from the sides of the body and the palms are facing down towards the floor. So first of all, we're going to bend the left leg, bend the left leg. And then we're going to lift the right leg and balance the straight right leg on the sole of the left foot. And then we're going to lift the head and lift the arms. Oh, nearly fell over them. And then lower everything back down. Bring the forehead back to the mat, hands back to the mat, both the legs extended. So we've got to do the other side now. So let's bend the right leg. And then take the straight left leg and balance it on the sole of the right foot. And from here we're going to lift the head and lift the arms. And there's your Dragonfly. Keep breathing. And then lowering everything all the way back down. So we need to do a counter posture now. So just bring the hands either side of the chest, so just underneath the shoulders. And then we're going to push back into a child's pose. So sitting back on the heels if you can. Then if you wish to, you can make a little stack of the fists and rest the head on the little stack. Alternatively, you can bring the head down to the mat. Take the hands down by either side of the feet. And then just enjoy that sensation of the mid and lower back being stretched out. Always really, really important to work with a counter posture after we've been working with back bends, and we've done a few tonight. And then slowly uncurling, coming all the way up to a seated position.
And let's come into a little squat. Oh no, we weren't going to come into a squat at all, were we? We're going to come into cat. Sorry about that. So just bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers nice and wide, weight evenly distributed throughout the whole of the hand, knees underneath the hips, and then let's breathe out, round the spine, bring the chin towards the chest, and then breathing in, drop the waist, lift the head, lift the tailbone. Breathing out, rounding the spine, and breathing in, arching. Breathing out, rounding. Breathing in, arching. And then just a few more of these with your own breath. And then we're going to have a little bit of a slant on this now. So the next time that you breathe out, drop down onto the elbows and bring the buttocks to the heels. And then when you breathe in, come up onto the hands and bring the upper body forward a little way. So breathing out, down onto the elbows and the heels. And then breathing in, coming forwards. So a few more of these with your own breath. And maybe you can bring the forehead down to the mat when you come back. Don't worry if you can't. And then coming back down. And the next time that you breathe in and come up, just come back into flat back cat, your neutral position. So we're going to move into downward facing dog now. So let's separate the feet, tuck the toes under, push back into down dog. So you can walk the dog when you get here, so straightening one leg and bending the other. Just easing out the backs of the legs, so hamstrings, calf muscles. And then come up onto tiptoes, bend the knees, and then using the hands, push the upper body back towards the thighs. So bringing the chest towards the thighs, and then keeping that upper body where it is, you can straighten the legs. Attempt to roll the heels down, don't worry if they don't get there, it's fine. And then we're going to swing through into upward facing dog. So keeping that contact with the mat, just with the hands and with the underside of the toes. And then I can't roll over the toes, but we can just flip the feet over so that the front of the feet is on the mat now. So the pubic bone is still not touching the mat. And then tuck the toes back under, push back into downward facing dog. So we're going to take the right leg up to the ceiling into three-legged dog. And then bend the right knee, bring the right elbow, the right knee to the right elbow, and then back out into three-legged dog. Lift the head, look between the hands, step the right foot through to the front of the mat, drop the left knee and flatten the left foot. So if that leg isn't making a right angle, then just shuffle the toes forward. And then maybe you feel a little bit of a pull on the left hip flexor, that's perfectly normal. Hands either side of the right foot. And then again, head is lifted, the drishti or the focal point is just softly ahead in the distance.
And then we're going to walk the hands back. Now that right heel will slip back a little bit, and then just sitting back on the left heel if you can. And then just laying the right side of the chest down onto the right thigh as you come into another hamstring stretch. And then coming back to the front of the mat, you will have to move that right foot because obviously it would have slipped back a little way. So we're going to come into crescent moon. So come in, bringing the upper body upright, palms of the hands come together, lunging nice and low with the hips. And then bring the hands down to the heart centre as we prepare to come into a twist. So you want the left elbow to the outer edge of the right thigh, and you can stay here with the knee dropped, or if you prefer, tuck the left toes under and straighten the left leg. But it is quite strong. And then lower that left knee back down. Bring the hands either side of the right foot, tuck the left toes under, step back into down dog. Couple of rests here in down dog. And then swinging through into upward dog, so the the pubic bone doesn't connect with the mat. And then I'm just going to flip the feet over so that the fronts of the feet are connecting with the mat. And then tuck the toes under once again. Come back up into downward facing dog. And then left leg up to the ceiling into three-legged dog. Both legs are straight if possible. Bring the left knee to the left elbow. Back out behind you into three-legged dog. Lift the head, look between the hands. Step the left foot through to the front of the mat. Drop the right knee. And flatten the right foot. Equestrian pose. So remember, shuffle the toes forward a little way if you need to. So a little pull on the right hip flexor maybe this side. And then walk the hands back. So that left heel will drag back as you come back and sit on the right heel. And then left side of the chest down towards the left thigh, into your hamstring stretch. And then coming back towards the front of the mat, you will need to readjust that left foot, remember, so you've got a nice right angle between the left shin and the mat. And then coming up into crescent moon. Drop the hips forward, bring the hands together above the head. And then bring the hands down to the heart centre, hands are still connected. Right elbow to the left thigh, right elbow to the left thigh, and then you can stay here with the knee dropped, or if you wish to, tuck the right toes under and then straighten the right leg. And then lower the right knee, bring the hands, either side of the left foot, tuck the right toes under. Step back into down dog, drop back into cat, and then just come into a seated comfortable position. So let's begin by circling the shoulders, nice big circles with the shoulders, and don't forget the Chill at Home online festival on Sunday. So I'm on about 4 o'clock doing a yoga session. And I will also be teaching Bank Holiday Monday at the usual time for anyone who's interested. And then go back the other way. And then just relax the shoulders down, give the head a little shake.
So let's take a big breath in and squeeze the shoulders up nice and tight around the ears. And then big old sigh, let them fall away. Breathe in and squeeze. One more time. And then we'll drop the chin down to the chest. So in a gentle pendulum swing, we'll just take the chin up towards the right shoulder. Bring it back down to the chest. And then up to the left shoulder. Back down to the chest. Back up to the right shoulder. Back down to the chest. Back up to the left shoulder. Back down to the chest. And then we'll lift the head. Take the right ear over to the right shoulder. And bring it back to centre. Left ear over to left shoulder. And bring it back to centre. Right ear to right shoulder. Bring it back to centre. Left ear to left shoulder. Bring it back to centre. And then we'll turn our face all the way around to the right. Bring it back to centre. And all the way around to the left. And back to centre. Once more round to the right. And back to centre. And once more round to the left. And back to centre. Let's drop the chin down towards the chest, really lengthening the back of the neck. Bring the head back to centre. And then very gently, very carefully, just tipping the head back a little way. So if you open and close the mouth a couple of times, you might find a yawn. And then bring the head back to centre. So just making your way down onto your mat now for your final relaxation. So just coming down into Shavasana, your relaxation posture. A couple of choices here. You can stretch away the legs, nice big space between the heels, feet just flopping apart, legs nice and relaxed. If that's not for you for whatever reason, then just bend the knees. Take the feet nice and wide, allow the knees to just fall in together so the legs are still relaxed and soft. And then take the hands a little way away from the sides of the body, palms turned up towards the ceiling, fingers are lightly curled, back of the neck is long, chin is tucked in, eyes gently closed if you haven't already done so. And then just allow the breath to settle in the body. No need to do anything special with the breath, just allow it to occur naturally, just flowing smoothly in and out through the nostrils. Just allowing everything to soften down. So once again becoming aware of whereabouts in the breath you feel the body. So just becoming aware of the belly rising and falling with every breath. And then maybe taking the awareness on up to the rib cage now and just focusing on the contraction and expansion of the ribs as you continue to breathe. And then maybe moving the awareness now up to the top chest, the clavicular area. And just becoming aware of that gentle rise and fall of the top chest with every breath. And then becoming aware of the nostrils. Just tune into the sensation of the cool air being breathed in through the nostrils. Precious breath filling the body, nourishing the internal organs, filling you with prana, life force, energy. And then just taking the awareness down to the muscles that support the lower spine. And just imagine them softening down deeper and deeper into the mat. And so it's nearly time to end this final relaxation. So we're just going to start to come back to the present moment, waking the body up with small, gentle movements at first. So just perhaps wiggling the fingers and the toes. And then maybe waking up the joints, so just circling the wrists and circling the ankles. And then you can wake up the neck, so just roll the head from side to side a couple of times. Maybe you fancy a stretch and a yawn, so go right ahead. And then keeping the eyes still closed for the time being, just roll over onto your preferred side and remain there just for a couple more moments. And then in your own way, in your own time, just open the eyes and make your way back up to a seated position. And so we'll finish. Om Shanti, and thank you. So sorry for Mr. Wilson's absence this evening. I do apologise. If that's the only reason that you tuned in, then you must be a bit disappointed, but I do apologise for that. So so if you're going to join the festival on Sunday, I think we just had a delivery, frightened the life out of me. So yeah, about 4 o'clock, I think my slot's 4 o'clock, but there are lots of other really lovely activities for you to join in. It's all totally free, although there is the option to tip the people that are giving up their time to run the sessions. Otherwise, I will be here on Monday at 5 o'clock. Yes, I know it's a bank holiday, but I'm saving mine till later in the year because we can't really do anything with these ones, so they're a bit useless, aren't they? Anyway, so enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm going to go for a virtual G&T with a couple of friends on a video call now, so yeah, everything in moderation, yin, yang. So I've done a bit of yoga, now I'm going to do a bit of drinking. Okay, so thank you all for watching. See you all soon. Bye.